Spring. A time of year that trees just feel right. Weather is nice and is the happiest season of them all. So I had to start out this time by basically talking about one of my favorite spring animes of all time. Tomo-Chan is a girl. Basically. Shout out to Sumo Gaming, who I've been watching for a long time, and he has his own series doing this, which I got inspired by, and I put my own twist on this. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the anime starts out with Tomo Aizawa, the main character of the anime, and she confesses her love to her childhood bestie, Junichiro. But Jun completely bro-zones her. But she wants to be seen as a girl, as Jun before middle school mistook her to be a dude, the opposite sex. He even slapped him butt. So she starts talking to her best friend, Mizusu, and tells her all her problems with her love life. But Mizusu says that the only way this happens is if she drops the tomboy act. But the first step she gives is to talk nicer, or as nice as possible. The next day, bro's back to tickling her and he's as clueless as a goldfish, but they best friends for life. So Mizusu tells her to go eat lunch with Jun, and not just her. But the thing is, Mizusu and Jun got serious beef, but they barely made it through lunch with one blushing Tomo. But later on in the day, a random dude starts asking Jun questions about a forbidden sport. This nigga is thinking about a bedroom sport, while Jun is thinking about an actual sport. So they misunderstood each other badly, as Jun is saying yes to every question. Mizusu, the instigator, tells Tomo, and fight number 300 breaks out. But Mizusu and Jun both forgot their umbrellas and are waiting for Tomo to come. But bro pushes her into the rain, full extension. But Tomo and Jun walk home together with a slight push from Mizu, but she's too nervous to walk close to him and he gets way too close, so she fully sprints out of there. But then he sees something and now he's sprinting out of there himself. Now Tomo's a part of the karate club and she kicks the shit out of her captain. She's just too strong for any gender, girl or boy. She got Hulk strength, but she becomes closer friends with her captain. But these girls are stalking bro. So they see Tomo close with Cap and they take it up with her and tell her to meet them outside. Now Jun, he gets jealous of this new friendship and he tries to deny it. But she meets these girls and she starts threatening them and she's ready to throw a fade. But they're just asking her for help to meet the captain. And she's like, oh, I got you. Now going home, Tomo and Jun are on the train, mad close and stuff. So Tomo got to get up, but this old perv starts touching her and she has no idea what to do. Does she want to cause a scene in front of Jun? But Jun steps up and is ready to beat dude. But he tells Tomo, you need to stop wearing skirts. But she fully decks bro. Now she tells Mizu, and Mizusu is worried obviously, but she talks Tomo down from being mad about Jun's words and thinks her skirt is too tiny and tells her if she wants to wear them, then drop the shorts. She does, and Jun is shocked. Bro's looking away too much and he's trying to book it out of there, but he gets flashed and it's KO. And he apologizes to her for telling her what to wear, and Mizu is back to instigating. Now the next day rolls around and what in the waterbed is going on? They keep focusing on it. But this is Carol Olsen, a British girl that is popular. But Tomo runs into Captain and Carol and they tell her that they're distant relatives and they're engaged. What in the Alabama? But she pokes Tomo and keeps calling her dumbbell. But she tells Mizu that she's trying to defeat Tomo and knock her out. So she sneaks into Jun's locker to help her on her quest. And he decides to help her, but she ain't telling him who. But she decks Jun in the face. Is this a fetish at this point? But while Jun is training Carol, Tomo gets pretty jealous, all set up by Mizu. But after taking out all her anger on Captain and Carol's short training arc, Tomo runs into Carol in Jun's hold position and she presses him. But Carol no longer wants to fight Tomo. Now she's on the quest to become Tomo's friend. and they're now friends, and she thinks Tomo's an angel. But back in school, Jun let it slip that he and Mizu used to date in middle school, and Tomo is now pissed. So she presses Mizu for more information. So it turns out that they dated for 3 days, and she hates his guts to this day for making her do exercise activities on back-to-back dates. And he also broke up with her, so she hates him for life. But later, Tomo and Jun are walking home from school, and she's pressing him for some information about who he likes now. He says no one. Tomo's happy. Next day, he decks Captain on the head, which makes Tomo pretty mad. He's somehow mad at the captain, but he asks her why is she so close with the boys' captain, and she reveals that she's in the boys' club. Jun having a mental breakdown. Later in the day, Jun and Captain are all alone at the bus stop, and the captain is still scared of him. But he reveals to the captain that he fights Tomo and he tries his hardest. But the captain says, bro, you can't hit girls. But he thinks Tomo is a literal monster. But he's still trying to kill the captain on the bus and in school. He's scary as fuck. But on the off day, Tomo and Mizu are getting drinks, and Mizu asks if she hanged out with Jun lately. She admits to dodging him, so she tells him to take his offer or tell him. She's embarrassed, but she asks him out, and he's excited and agrees. So Mizu and Carol buy Tomo some new clothes. Ta-da! A new fit! Sporty Tomo. But when she goes on the date, she goes back to the batting cage and bowling alley with Junichiro. 2 bro spots. So she gotta try something new, karaoke. But she's too embarrassed to do anything, even with the encouragement of Devil Mizu and Angel Carol. But Jun tells her he likes the chill spots and just wanna have fun. So she starts singing a kid's song through the embarrassment. Now, Mizu in the morning runs into Tanabe, who wants to bug her. But later, while he's trying to talk to Jun, he says that he's just trying to see Mizu smile for once, which Jun says she's smiling all the time. But after bugging some more, she puts tape on Bro and Carol's mouth. While Mizu's getting pressed by Tomo, she sees the real devil's smile. Next day, Tomo admits to wanting to know how it is to interact with other girls, but she reveals they all run away when she tries. So she asks Mizu to do it, but she declined, while Carol is totally down for her. So she hugs Carol and thinks, maybe I ain't a girl. But Mizu says that Carol is a special breed. But since Carol starts giving hugs to Tomo, Mizu's been grumpy. So she reveals that she felt bad and allows a hug from Tomo, which she tells her after to hug Jun since he does it all the time. But as she tried, he flings her off while telling her she can't do it unlike him, which she decks him for. But all of a sudden, Jun sneaks into her room in the morning, which he says he's just trying to wake her up. And they run into her mom, which they woke up. But Tomo made these barely edible rice sardine balls for Jun, and he tries eating it. But they get into the dojo late, and Bro is too shy in front of his own wife. Tomo thinks it's lame, but cute, and Jun disagrees. Next day, Jun and Tomo are eating lunch together, and she's embarrassed about it. But while that is happening, Mizu and Carol are eating lunch together, and Captain meets them later on the rooftop. And he basically little sister Carol and says they're like family, which they are. But Carol asks Mizu what she needs to do. Later, Tomo is still embarrassed by the headband bestowed to her by Carol, so she takes it off, slowly. But Tomo gets pulled away, and the 2 girls ask Tomo for some help, as this dude from a mixer that's also the school bully is pressing the orange one. But Tomo is only worried about the mixer part, but she agrees to help. So later, when they get to meet this dude, and Tomo tells him to back off her and leave her alone, but he tells her she's doing too much and he just wanted to play with her. I gotta tell y'all, this guy is a senior. Yeah, he's one of them that hits on freshmen, the Josh Giddey variant. But Tomo decks Bro with 1 kick after all that talking. And they worried for her, but she says it's alright. While they're making plans to attack Tomo again, June beats the brakes off of all of them after hearing, and they apologize to Tomo. Next day, Carol asks them if they want to visit her house. They agree, and when they visit, her house is huge. She even gave them a map. But while waiting, they run into Carol's mother, and she confuses Tomo for a man until she sees her chest. But she allows them in, and upon arriving in this castle, they see Carol and she gives Tomo a hug, but Mizu pushes her away. But then they get to Carol's princess-ass room, and they're hanging out until Mizu wants to go to the bathroom. So Carol's mom takes her there and asks her on the walk if she's a mean girl to Carol. And Mizu responds saying Carol is just a money bag, but she laughs it off, while Carol and Tomo are having fun. Carol is a beast at games, and they leave this strange family's house. Onto school, Tomo's worried over midterms, so Mizu and Carol make a study group with Tomo. But June asks if Tomo wants to study, but Mizu schools him and calls him a loser, and they leave for Mizu's house. But when Mizu's mom came home, she mistook Tomo for her mother, but they started studying, and they learned that Carol is a mathing genius. But after the study montage, Tomo ranked 70th, June ranked 54th, and Mizu ranked 2nd, while Carol ranked 1st. The next day, June invites Tomo over to play a new game, and she wants to decline his offer, while Carol and Mizu tell her to go. She agrees, and she goes to June's house after school, and June's mom is gone from the house, so they're all alone. He makes her some food and tells her it's okay to take a bath. Or not. But she wears some new clothes, and this man June trying to lock in. But they're playing this fake FIFA game, but he doesn't care what she does. He's in bliss. But he remembers he gotta lock in and destroy her. It's a game after all. And they start fighting, or not. But they start flexing their latest sleep times. Tomo says 11 p.m., June says 12 p.m. These are both rookie numbers. I stayed up a whole 24-hour once. It's on my channel. But they go to sleep, and she accidentally falls asleep on June while teasing him after he put her in a fucking triangle choke. Man sees this in the morning and runs. Tomo gets hit with a wave of embarrassment on the way out. After a while, Tomo's birthday rolls around, and June gets her some new shades. But she says she's his elder, and also to Mizu. And Mitsusu hits her back with school workbooks. But Carol gave her a whole block of gold, shiny and all, and tells her to meet Carol and Mizu at Mitsusu's house. And they give Tomo a complete makeover. Makeup, a new dress, a wig. Yeah, she's a completely different person now. But they kick her out the house to go get some ice cream with the makeover. And as she goes to the store, she runs into her worst nightmare, June. So she hurries up and tries running away from him, but falls, and he helps her up. And he almost noticed she's Tomo, until he says she ain't that girly and she has an inch or two on her in height. So he helps her walk back, and he calls her pretty. Tomo's embarrassed again, but then they walk past this group of kids playing soccer, and she gets too hyped watching it. And he reminds her ice cream is about to melt, and she blitzes off. But they planned a surprise birthday party for her as she was away. But of course the next day rolls around, he does something, and she decks him for it. He's now 100% sure it wasn't her. Now, on to the first dodgeball tournament, and she gets a little too crazy, unlike Carol, and she has to join the boys team. First round is the delinquents from earlier. They get destroyed. Second round is Captain's team, but June got an agenda against him. He trying to kill him, but another dub. Last round, Big Hulk over here tells June he gotta join the judo club if they win this round. He agrees, but couldn't think of anything in return. The round starts, and a missile is sent at Tanabe, and he's eliminated, as well as two other boys. And Big Hulk tries throwing the ball at Tomo, but June jumps in the way to save her, eliminating himself. And now, she's on smoke. she teed up and passed the ball between bro's leg, Chris Paul style, and Hulk is easily eliminated by Tanabe. Tomo and the others win the whole tournament, and Jun still judos with Hulk and beats him easily. He's not on the same level. In the annual flashback episode, Jun is thinking about why he wants to be so strong. So he recalls the first time he met Tomo. She jumped his fence and sat right next to him. Real criminal behavior. And she asked him where he was from, and he told her that he was from Tokyo, but he wasn't paying attention to anything else she was saying. So she snatched bro's 3DS and managed to break the system in half. Rude strength. But he landed a solid on her, but she tells him to do more since she was the one that broke it. But he's too scared to do anything. Until Tomo's dad comes to Jun's house and this man apologizes as scary as possible. But Akemi tells him to back off and they hide behind him. But Jun fell in love. So from then on, Jun and Tomo became friends, going through hell and back. But he eventually meets little Mizu, who hates him from the jump. Quick hating. And she belittles him at any chance. But Tomo's ready to help him at any point, even when he's bullied. Or bullies him by putting him in a camel clutch. And he doesn't want his DS back until he gets stronger than her. And Tomo is ready for him at any point. But now it's time for the devious swimming arc. It's time to head to the beach with the gang. But Mizu is not that interested. But Carol and Mizu somehow made Tomo wear a swimsuit. And Jun sees all and is embarrassed. They just having fun and Mizu and Jun are just hating on each other on the beach. So Tomo invites him over and drags him along. Jun can't catch a break, or two. But Tomo suddenly gets hit on by this weird dude, and he's doing too much. She gets weirded out by him, and Jun saves her by intervening. And bro asked him straight up, "Are you her boyfriend?" He said nah and scared him off. And then Jun saves Carol from some dudes and is asked the same question. And he says, "Whatever you think." Tomo is in shock and puts Carol in a headlock. But some other questionable things happen after they get some ice cream and they go home. But the end of summer break, they're hosting a sleepover and Tomo is dared to go to the summer festival with Jun. By Mizusu, of course. So Tomo goes to Jun's house and asks him to go. And he agrees. They're both ready and it's time to go to the festival. So they go and they meet up with her new fit. Jun's in awe and is blinded by this beauty, while Captain, Mizu, and Carol go together. Now, back to Tomo, the stall owners can't believe that's actually Tomo, but she destroys every festival stall there is in sight. And she's staring at these roses and meets these two dudes, but Jun drags her away, and she thanks him for it. But he gets way too close and then runs away to watch the fireworks and takes her to a hidden spot to watch it. So Tomo thinks it's finally time to confess, but freezes up at the last moment. And the fireworks go off and the festival ends with no confession, but a newfound love. But now back at school, this man Jun is doing pinky touches with Tomo and runs off. But Mizu's at her desk thinking of everything that has happened to Tomo and Jun and thinks she's gonna get abandoned by them. But as she's walking home, she's noticed by the band of delinquents, aka the Karl Malone group. And they try taking her, but she scares them off once and twice when they tried. But Carol pulls up and asks what's going on. But Mizu tries distancing herself from her to protect her. But this doesn't work when Carol pulls out the Ultra Taser. And they gotta run, but Carol gets a face full of water first. And they on the run and hide in some warehouse. And Mizu calls Jun and tells him to save them and don't tell Tomo. But he folded when he was pressed and she's on smoke. But the captain overheard this. So back at the warehouse, they were found by Carol's water trail. But Tomo pulls up just in time and stops this man for the third time. Does he like this? But Jun is fighting the other dude while Tomo is putting bro in a headlock. So the captain decided to check on Carol and he sees her like this. It's raps for them. Bro's about to crash out. He wants smoke with the leader. But Carol clears the air and he's calm again. But Mizu tells them if they pipe up again, they're gonna get Tomo's dad to handle them. And they were sworn in to protect Mizu and the rest. But the next day rolls around and June's acting normal again, and she's happy. But the captain recalls his first time seeing Carol and thinks she's an angel that brightens his day. So he goes to Aizawa's dojo to get stronger. Goru says he got this evil side to him. I mean, he kinda does. But Jun and Tomo don't take kindly to competition. They're beating his ass, basically flatlining him. Jun doesn't even go easy on bro during sparring and stops him in one punch. But he gut checks him, knocking him out, while he did give a cut to Jun. But while the captain is talking to Carol, he says some words that makes her jealous of Tomo. So she invites herself over to Jun's house. And is that CR7? But Carol promises to torture Jun. She even roars at him. I'm never saying that again. But Jun ran away to Tomo cause he's so scared of Carol. But Carol came back for him like the Grim Reaper. Next day at school, she told the captain, but he didn't care that much. So Mizu asked him if he likes her. He says yes, that he loves her. He's just too scared to do it. But she lied to Carol to say he said, nah. But Carol is left in this weird state. So Mizu gotta fix this by sending Captain to her home. When he gets there, Carol's mom headbutts bro and then allows him to pass. But Carol ain't responding, so he just gotta go in. And he sees her in tears and she tells him to go away. And he tells her the truth, throwing Mizu underneath the bus. But he confesses his love for her and she accepts it, and we got a new couple. The next day at school, Carol looks like she's about to kill Mizu. But surprise, it's a joke. Now, it's time for another sports episode. This time, a school marathon. But Tomo and Jun are ready to beat each other, even though the boys and girls race is different. And go! They're off to the races already, and Tomo and Jun are in a lane of their own. While Mizu and Carol, on the other hand, ain't moving. But Tomo and Jun are so fast that they start chasing the teacher on the bike. But the girl's stop is up ahead, but she passed it. She's going straight for Jun's head. And while Captain is running, Jun and Tomo are blitzing past him, already making the turn. And while they were at it, Tomo faints. She's burning up and she has a fever. It's because she barely ate and was running till nighttime. And she woke up in the shower naked. So Jun has to carry her to the end, but she wakes up in the nurse's room and Mizu is worried while Carol is sleeping. But Jun comes in and gives her some water. He's just worried that she's sick and her mom is about to pick her up. But she asks him to carry her to the car. He agrees, but he's now embarrassed. And she's doing fine by the next day and gives back his DS to him since he won the race. But now in this flashback, Jun learned in middle school that Tomo was a girl by seeing her in a skirt, and he just didn't notice any of the signs. But he started avoiding her after someone asked if her and Jun were dating, and she said no. This hurt his feelings. So when she called for him, he flat out ignored her. A whole year passed like this, and he came up with this plan of having a quick girlfriend to interact with Tomo easier. This is when Mizu came around to ask him about something, and he asked her out. But that relationship fizzled out quick, and she hates his guts forever. But after this, Jun gets the confidence to ask Tomo to walk, but he didn't say anything until she beat it out of him. So they return to being best friends again, but now he thinks she's cute. In the brand new school day, Tomo is thinking about buying a gift for Jun for his birthday. So Mizu tries hooking her up with a job, but Tanabe suggests they work for his dad's restaurant, which needs some help since his mom ran away. They were given some maid uniforms, but Mizu gets the regular kind. The first customer shows up and Tomo's acting too robotic and Carol is just stupid. So they put her in the front. So they start working and they're doing great, working hard. Until Jun gets to the shop and she gets embarrassed. Cause this is a shop he frequents since Tanabe's his boy. Tomo is pissed at this, but Jun thinks Tomo is cute in this uniform and he tells her about it. But then he says he's coming back the next day. But a week later, she bought him the same watch she wears and he says that he doesn't care if they match. Now, on the next school day, everything is normal, besides Mizu's evil plan to push him into Tomo. Tomo is excited, but as Jun is falling, he thinks Mizu's trying to kill him. But he dodges into Carol's chest. So, Tomo punches him senseless, but Mizu accidentally falls, aka Karma, into Tanabe's lap. Now, the next day, Mizu's not at school because she's sick. So, Tomo heads up to Mizu's window and she brings her some sweets. Tomo reassures her about their friendship and tells her about this play coming up. She is Cinderella, Tomo is the prince, while Carol is the stepmom and Jun is a tree. But they're pretty scared of her. Not very Cinderella. But Jun comes to talk to her about why she's distancing herself from Tomo. But she pushes the tree down. And while they're walking back home, Tomo suggests Jun read Cinderella's lines so she can rehearse. He reluctantly agrees to be a substitute Cinderella. Now, it's time for the school culture festival, with Carol, Mizu, and Tomo's mothers appearing. The play starts, and Carol's mom tries intervening a few times. Tomo woos the crowd over, and the play ends up in a success, with everyone congratulating them. Now, it's time for Tomo and Jun to explore the festival, with many events. Now, at the end, they're dancing in a fire line, and she runs away from him. Next day, she tries avoiding him on everything he says. So he pulls the captain to the side, and he tells him his love for Tomo. So the captain told him to straight up confess to her. So he does that finally, and he tells Tomo that he knew she confessed to him at the beginning, but he didn't want to answer with his love until now. She gets red and runs away, calling him a dumb. Carol and Mizu tell her, "What are you doing? Go get it and confess to him fully now. It's time." She tracks him down before leaving school, and they start confessing to each other. And he tells her that he doesn't want to change anything that happens in their lives and still compete with each other with love this time. But he falls down the stairs in happiness. Now, the next time, they start jumping Jun after his flirting, and they suggest they go out on a date to the movies. They go, and he calls her adorable, and they start blushing. They go to a romance movie, and she tries holding hands with him during the kissing scenes. But there's a lot more than kissing happening, and she freaks out and doesn't know what to do. Later on, he gives Tomo a Christmas gift, a pair of earrings, and she made him a new handmade scarf, and they walking around all lovey-dovey. Little did she know the challenge ahead. Until later in Jun's room, Tomo learns that her dad said that Jun has to fight him to get approval for the relationship. So she gets in rage mode and is mad at her dad and says she doesn't love him no more. His heart is broken. But Jun reassures Tomo that he will fight her father for her love. And while in karate class, Captain tells her to go and support him fighting. And Jun brings her mom there just to offset him. When she gets there, he's beating the brakes off of him. No holds barred. So Tomo gives him some quick motivation, and he goes all out and puts his strength, speed, and accuracy into one punch and lands the hit that makes his hand hit the ground, and Jun won. And now is allowed to date Tomo. And he asks her out first, but I see a home run. The end. So yeah, I had a great time talking about this. I encourage y'all to watch the anime. I like this so much. If you have any other basically suggestions, comment them for me. I'll read them. Thank you for watching. Hit the sub button. I love you all. Check out the socials, and peace.